Have you noticed that something inside you has been changing lately and you can't fully explain it? It's like the things that used to bother you don't hit the same anymore. The people who once had power over your emotions suddenly feel distant, almost irrelevant. You're not reacting the way you used to. You're not chasing, not overthinking, not trying to prove yourself like before. And that's confusing, isn't it? At first, you might think something is wrong with you. Maybe you've become too cold, too detached, too different. But what if I told you this isn't you losing yourself, but this is you unlocking a version of yourself that was always there, just waiting? Because what's happening right now is not random. It's not just growth. And it's definitely not a phase. You're entering a state that very few people ever reach. A state where your energy becomes protected, your presence becomes powerful, and your mind becomes impossible to control. This is the moment your quantum halo begins to activate. And once you understand what that really means, you'll realize why some people are starting to feel uncomfortable around you, why certain connections are breaking, and why slowly you're becoming someone they can no longer touch. It never begins with something obvious. There's no big moment, no sudden realization where everything just clicks. Instead, it starts quietly. You begin to notice small changes in how you respond to things. Situations that used to drain you don't affect you the same way anymore. Arguments that once pulled you in now feel unnecessary, almost exhausting to even engage with. And the strangest part, you don't feel the need to react. There's this pause that didn't exist before, a space between what happens and how you respond to it. And inside that space, you feel something new: control. You're no longer being pulled by every emotion, every opinion, every situation. It's like you've stepped slightly outside of it all, watching instead of absorbing. People start to notice it too. They might say you've changed, that you're not as available as you used to be, that you don't care the same way anymore. But what they don't understand is you do care, just not in the way that costs you your peace. You're no longer giving reactions for free. You're no longer allowing your energy to be accessed so easily. And this shift, on this quiet, almost invisible shift, is the very first sign that your quantum halo has started forming. It's not loud, it doesn't announce itself, but once it begins, everything starts to change. After that first shift, things don't stay internal for long, because now it starts to affect the way people experience you. Your energy begins to change, not in a way you can see, but in a way everyone around you can feel. And the strange part is, you didn't try to do this, you didn't force it, you didn't announce it, you didn't become louder or more attention-seeking. If anything, you became quieter, more controlled, more selective, more intentional. But somehow, that's exactly what makes your presence stronger. People start reacting to you differently. Some are drawn in without knowing why. They'll want to be around you more, talk to you more, and understand you more. It's almost magnetic, but at the same time, others will start to feel uncomfortable. Not because you did anything wrong, but because they can't read you the way they used to. Your energy no longer feels familiar to them, and when people can't predict you, they lose their sense of control. That's when the tension begins. You might notice certain people becoming distant or acting slightly different around you. Shorter conversations, less openness, or sometimes subtle resistance. And you'll feel it, that unspoken shift in the air, where something is clearly different, but no one is saying it out loud. This is where many people get confused, because part of you will want to go back, to make things normal again, to lower yourself just enough so everyone feels comfortable. But another part of you, the part that's waking up, refuses, because deep down, you're starting to understand something powerful. Not everyone is meant to stay connected to the version of you that's evolving. And this energy shift, it's not pushing people away by accident. It's revealing who was only aligned with your old frequency. And the more you step into this new state, the stronger this effect becomes. You don't need to chase attention anymore. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to force connections, because your presence alone starts doing all the work, and that's when it hits you. This isn't just a mindset shift. This is something deeper, something energetic, something that changes how people respond to you without you even saying a word. And whether they're drawn in or pushed away, one thing becomes clear. Your quantum halo isn't just forming internally anymore, and it's now affecting the entire world around you. At some point, no, you notice something that almost feels unfamiliar. You stop chasing, not just people, but validation, attention, approval. The constant need to be seen, understood, or accepted starts to fade, and it's not forced. It just happens. You no longer feel the urgency to reply instantly. You don't feel the need to explain every decision you make. And most importantly, you stop trying to prove your worth to people who were never really looking for it. That emotional pull that once controlled you, it weakens. Situations that used to keep you up at night now barely take up space in your mind, and for a moment, this can feel confusing because you might question yourself, why don't I feel the same anymore? Why am I not reacting like before? But the truth is, you're not losing emotion, you're gaining mastery over it. You're no longer giving your energy to every trigger, every opinion, every situation that tries to pull you in. Instead, you choose. You decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. And that level of control, it changes everything, because the moment you stop reacting automatically, you become unpredictable. And when you become unpredictable, you become uncontrollable. That's when people start to feel it the most. The ones who are used to your emotional response, the ones who knew exactly what to say to get a reaction out of you, they lose that access. And without that access, they lose their influence over you. Some will try harder, push more, test your limits just to see if the old version of you is still there. But when they realize it's not, that's when the dynamic shifts completely. Because now, you're no longer someone who can be easily affected. You've stepped into a space where your emotions don't control you anymore. You control them, and this emotional detachment, it's not distance. It's power in its purest form. Then comes a shift that most people underestimate. You become comfortable with silence, not the awkward kind, but the kind that holds weight. You don't feel the need to fill every gap with words anymore. You don't rush to respond, defend, or explain yourself. Instead, you pause, you observe, you let things reveal themselves before you react. And in that silence, you start seeing more than you ever did before. People expose their intentions. Situations unfold without you interfering. Truth becomes easier to recognize, without noise distorting it, and others notice this change quickly because they're used to immediate reactions, quick replies, predictable behavior. But now they're met with calm, with stillness, with control, and that unsettles them because silence, when used correctly, creates pressure. It makes people overthink, it makes them question themselves, it makes them reveal more than they intended. And you don't even have to do anything. Well, that's the power of it. You're no longer playing every situation out loud. You're playing it internally, strategically, and the moment people realize they can't read you like before, that's when your presence starts to feel different, stronger, deeper, untouchable, because sometimes the most powerful move you can make is saying nothing at all. Then comes one of the most important shifts. You start setting boundaries, not aggressively, not emotionally, but clearly. You begin saying no, without feeling the need to explain yourself, without overthinking how the other person will react, without carrying that familiar weight of guilt. And at first, this feels uncomfortable, because you're used to adjusting, used to making space for others, even when it costs you your own peace. But now, something inside you refuses to do that anymore. You start recognizing when your energy is being drained, when your time is being taken for granted, when your presence is being undervalued, and instead of tolerating it, you quietly step back. No drama, no long explanations, no emotional reactions, just distance. And that alone sends a message stronger than words ever could. This is where your quantum halo becomes even more visible, because the moment you protect your energy, you become unavailable to manipulation, pressure, and control, and people will notice. Some will respect it, some will be confused by it, and some will not like it at all, because your boundaries remove the access they once had. But here's the truth you start to understand. Anyone who has a problem with your boundaries that benefited from you not having them. And once you see that clearly, you stop feeling guilty. You stop second-guessing yourself because you realize protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. And this shift, it's another step closer to becoming someone who can no longer be easily influenced or controlled. Art 6. People fall away. As this transformation continues, something inevitable begins to happen. People start falling away, not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly, one by one. Conversations become shorter, connections feel different. The effort that once existed then starts to fade. And at first, you notice it. You feel that slight distance, that shift in energy, that unspoken understanding that something isn't the same anymore. Some people will try to hold on. They'll reach out in ways that feel familiar, trying to pull you back into old patterns, old reactions, old versions of yourself. Others won't even try. They'll simply drift, because the version of you they were connected to no longer exists in the same way. And this is where it can feel uncomfortable, because part of you will want to question it. Why is this happening? Did I do something wrong? But deep down, you already know the answer. You didn't lose these connections, you outgrew them, your energy shifted, your mindset evolved, your boundaries became stronger, and not everyone is meant to align with that version of you. This isn't loss, it's alignment in motion. The people who were only meant for a certain phase of your life naturally begin to exit as you move beyond that phase. And while it may feel quiet, even a little empty at times, there's also something else there. Peace, less noise, less confusion, less emotional weight, because you're no longer surrounded by what drains you. You're creating space for what actually aligns with you. And that's the part most people don't understand. Growth doesn't just add things into your life, it removes what no longer belongs. And the more you accept that, the easier this phase becomes, because you realize not everyone is meant to go with you to the version of yourself you're becoming. At this stage, something becomes very clear. Your mind feels different, not louder, but sharper, not overactive, but focused. The confusion that once surrounded your thoughts, the constant second-guessing, overthinking, and doubt, it starts to fade. And in its place, clarity. You begin to see people for who they really are, not who you